Hi, I'm Sophie. This is my lieutenant, goes by Ben.
Hello to you both. Why don't you call me Mr. March?
Sophie shrugged. Gnomes de plume and tanglers were a fairly regular part of her life. Hell, she didn't even know what Trick's real name was. And she'd forgotten Bear's. There were many legitimate reasons why you would want to hide your identity in a place like the Lockdement.
As you like. You have a job for me?
I do.
The little smile played across the edges of March's mouth, as if he knew something amusing and was only half trying to hide it. Sophie felt a sudden urge to stick her fist into that face, but she resisted. She meant to find out what was on offer at least. She exchanged a glance with Ben, but her friend shrugged. No read on the kid yet.
I have a job uniquely suited to your talents.
You need a lord seduce then? Or his wife? Both?
We're flexible.
I've been informed that you and your group of friends have some talent at getting into places and taking things out of them. Yes?
Sophie tapped the table, studying March. Something about the man disturbed her, but he didn't have the feel of a Queen's agent or anyone else that might be trying to set a trap. No, she was just still rattled by the consort's cryptic message about the giant.
The giant lies, still awake. Sophie Versace.
Just then, the caps covered the lights, plunging the bar into gloom. She pulled her attention back down to March.
Sure, we're decent safe breakers, if the price is right.
It will be.
With a studied carelessness, he withdrew something from his carry and tossed it on the table. It was a slim package wrapped in heavy blue paper and sealed. There was fine gold writing inscribed on the outside, but Sophie didn't need to read it to know what it was. Her eyes widened, impressed.
Is that?
Ansiotropic.
Battle drugs.
That elevated her opinion of Mr. March by a few orders of magnitude. Jane Gwyn, the queen herself, commanded the only supply of ansiotropic, and she guarded both the formula and the distribution of the drug zealously. It was reserved for her crack troops. It was legendary, and it was extremely hard to get. Sophie picked up the drugs, looking for signs of subterfuge. But if this was fake, it was the best she'd ever seen. It was heavy for its size, too. It held an indefinable air of authenticity.
Ever try it?
Once. It's heady stuff.
I agree. And there's more where that came from.
Ben gave her a nudge under the table, but she didn't need it. More? She settled against the padded bench back. She handed the package to Ben, who inspected it.
How much more?
Were you to do this particular job for us, distribution wouldn't be out of the question.
You can get a regular supply of ansiotropic?
Possibly enough for both distribution and personal use. Could come in handy for a girl of your talents and tastes.
Sophie was hardly listening. Handy indeed. With a steady supply of ansiotropic, she could... It was tempting. She remembered the other thing the messenger fop said before he'd mentioned the giant. Nothing that is about to happen is what it seems. But Sophie didn't need that kind of warning, and hadn't not since she was young. She brought all of her attention on to the young man across from her.
Brass tacks time. Who is us, and what's the job?
Us is myself and my partner, whom you do not need to concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, we have secure access to ansiotropic, and are willing to share.
Why don't you let us worry about what concerns us?
Ben wasn't usually good at menace, but he, like his capitana, smelled something wrong with this deal.
What's the job?